Tools to silence land and environmental defenders globally are on the rise. In Asia, detentions and criminalization of defenders are becoming increasingly common. Patterns in the types of laws being used are starting to emerge. Here we analyze these and look at how governments weaponize laws to detain defenders in the region.
Let's set the scene. It's the Philippines. It's 4 a.m, still dark, in a group of villages near where 2 huge mega dams are planned. A whole community is about to be completely torn apart.
In what can only be described as a brutal raid by security forces, 9 leaders of the indigenous Tamandok people were killed, right in their own homes. Now, these weren't random victims. They were outspoken opponents of the dams that threatened to swallow their ancestral lands.
And for those who survived, the nightmare was just getting started. 16 other people were arrested and hauled into custody. Their fight to protect their homes was suddenly twisted into an accusation of rebellion against the state itself.
Now, the tragedy that hit the Tamandok people, it's not some isolated incident. It is a terrifying, real-world example of a global trend where just standing up for the environment comes with a horrifying price tag.
There's a name for this: criminalization. It sounds academic, but it's a very deliberate strategy where powerful interests, we're talking governments and big corporations, use the law itself as a weapon. And what's the goal? It's simple: shut down anyone who opposes massive commercial projects, things like mining, huge agribusiness operations, or giant infrastructure projects that, let's be honest, often speed up environmental destruction.
To really get a sense of the scale of this problem, you have to look at the data. And the analysis of information from Forum Asia paints a really stark picture of a crisis that's just getting bigger, especially across Asia.
So get this, between 2018 and 2024, in just 4 countries, the Philippines, Indonesia, India, and Vietnam, at least 341 land and environmental defenders were detained or arrested. That is not just a number. That's 341 people who were targeted simply for trying to protect their communities and their resources.
And this problem isn't static. It's actually getting worse. The data shows a really clear upward trend in these arrests and detentions over the last 7 years. And you can see a major spike in 2023. It's a flashing red light, a clear signal that the crackdown on dissent is escalating.
When you look at it on a map, you can see these really clear hotspots. While the Philippines definitely has the highest number of cases we know about, these incidents are happening all over. You see these significant clusters across India, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Every single one of those dots represents people, families, and communities under fire.
So what is driving all of this? I mean, what's at the heart of it? Well, the data is just crystal clear. A whopping 59% of all these arrests are directly tied to conflicts over land rights. At its core, this is a struggle for the land itself, and it pits indigenous peoples and small-scale farmers against incredibly powerful corporate and state interests. So how exactly is this happening? You know, it's not random. There's a clear playbook, a set of tactics that are used over and over again to silence defenders by turning the legal system against them. I mean, just take the case of Nguyen Thi Can in Vietnam. This is incredible. Her official charge, tax evasion. Her actual crime, winning the incredibly prestigious Goldman Environmental Prize. They used the tax charge to sentence this celebrated activist to 24 months in prison. It's a textbook example of a trumped-up, ridiculous charge. In the Philippines, they have a particularly dangerous tactic called red tagging. There's even a special government body, the NTF-ELCAC, that publicly labels defenders as communists or terrorists. And this isn't just about name-calling or discrediting them. This branding is often the first step, a prelude to arrests, to violence, and sometimes even to killings. And this tactic is often supercharged by weaponizing really broad anti-terror laws. For example, the Philippines Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 lets the government designate people as terrorists with very little oversight or due process.
The consequences of all these tactics, they're devastating, and they go way beyond a prison cell. They create this ripple effect of fear that just destroys lives, families, and even entire communities.
And this is absolutely crucial. The punishment starts long before any trial. The second someone is designated a terrorist in the Philippines, for instance, their entire financial life can be wiped out in an instant because their assets are frozen.
Let's just walk through what that actually looks like for a real person. Indigenous leader Jennifer Awingan Tagagawa was designated a terrorist. Immediately, her assets were frozen. That meant the small store she ran to make a living, gone. It even made it difficult for her husband, a university professor, to get his own salary. It's a cascade of financial ruin. and it's designed to cripple not just the defender, but their entire family.
And the legal process itself is a form of punishment. Get this, in 81% of the cases where data was available, defenders were held in pretrial detention for a week or even longer. Many are held for months, sometimes years, often without any access to lawyers or their families. You know, justice delayed really does become justice denied.
So why does all of this matter to us, no matter where we live? Because these defenders, they aren't just fighting for their own patch of land or a local forest. No, they are on the front lines of a crisis that affects every single one of us.
They are protecting the world's most vital ecosystems, the forests that literally act as our planet's lungs, the rivers that give us clean water, and the biodiversity that keeps our world in balance. Their local fight has truly global consequences. In a very, very real sense, they are fighting the climate crisis for all of us.
And as the Global Witness Report puts it so well, we need these defenders now more than ever. Silencing them, jailing them, and killing them doesn't just pervert justice, it puts our collective future at risk.
And all of this leaves us with a really critical question. If the people on the front lines, the ones who have the most to lose but also the most to protect, are systematically silenced, who's going to be left to defend our planet?
Environment is no one's property to destroy, it's everyone's responsibility to protect. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe Water Mythbusters.